is a pure devotee of the Lord, and when he was tormented by Hiranyakashipu, simply for the reason that he was a devotee of the Lord, uh, Lord Nrsimhadev advented and killed him. And we know how Lord Nrsimhadev killed him also. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam. So he killed him in just a short time. He came out of a pillar and he killed him. So that's pretty much about Narsimha Chaturdashi and the pastime. But there are many deep lessons which can be derived from this pastime, which I would like to discuss today. So there are unlimited lessons, by the way, from this Prahlad Nrsimha pastime. It is spanning across 6-7 chapters. I just selected one verse from each chapter to discuss. As you can see, my tabs are open. So I've done some homework before coming. But I do not know how much we will be able to discuss. So let's not keep it time bound. I mean, time bound in the sense we will definitely stop at 12:30. But whenever we get time, we can discuss remaining. So let's recite the first verse which I have chosen. This is this has to go behind. The first verse is from 7 to 7-8. So we'll take some lessons from the attitude of Hiranyakashipu, some lessons from the attitude of Prahlad, some lessons from the appearance of Nrsimhadev, and we'll try to learn and absorb in this pastime of Prahlad and Nrsimha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatya Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So requesting devotees to open this verse if you have, or else I will increase the font size here. You can see this if possible. We'll recite only the 7th verse. Seventh canto, chapter 2, shloka number 7. Tasya tyakta swabhavasya Grihiner maya vanaukasah Bhajantam bhajamanasya Balasyeva sthiratmanah Tasya takta swabhavasya Grihiner maya vanaukasah Bhajantam bhajamanasya Balasyeva sthiratmanah Tasya tyakta swabhavasya Grihiner maya vanaukasah Bhajantam bhajamanasya Balasyeva sthiratmanah. Some devotees can recite. Tasya tyakta swabhavasya गृहिणीर्मायावनौकसः भजन्तं भजमानस्य बालस्येवास्थिरात्मनः. Some more devotees. तस्य त्यक्ता स्वभावस्य गृहिणीर्मायावनौकसः भजन्तं भजमानस्य बालस्येवास्थिरात्मनः. माताजी. तस्य त्यक्ता स्वभावस्य गृहिणीर्मायावनौकसः भजन्तं भजमानस्य बालस्येवास्थिरात्मनः. Next verse only I will read. मच्छूलभिनग्रीवस्य भूरिणा. No, I will just read. मच्छूलभिनग्रीवस्य भूरिणारुधिरेण वै अस्रिक्प्रियं तर्पयिष्यै भ्रातारं मे गतः व्यथः. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead has given up his natural tendency of equality towards the demons and demigods. Although he is the Supreme Person now influenced by Maya, he has assumed the form of a boar to please his devotees, the demigods, just as a restless child leans towards someone. I shall therefore sever Lord Vishnu's head from his trunk by my trident, and with the profuse blood of his body, I shall please my brother Hiranyaksh, who was so fond of sucking blood. Thus shall I too be peaceful. So we will meditate. We'll start our lessons from this verse, but before that, let me do the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanand Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hari Om Tat Sat. Lesson number 1. We'll start from what we should not do. The demoniac mentality. The demoniac mentality thinks the Supreme Personality of Godhead has given up his natural tendency of equality towards the demons and the demigods. Tasya takta swabhavasya. His swabhava was to be equal. But now he has taken side of the demigods. And then Hiranyakashipu is saying, although he is the Supreme Person now influenced by Maya, This is how a demon thinks. The demon starts thinking that the creator of Maya or the controller of Maya is affected by Maya. So this is the beginning of Mayavad philosophy. The Mayavadis, they think that you are God, I am God, everybody is God. And because we are in Maya, that's why we have forgotten that I am God. Or rather, I have given up my godly nature, which makes them a fool, because they propose the idea that Maya is more powerful than God. How can Maya affect Mayapati? So a demon always thinks like this. The demoniac tendency begins with peers, and then it goes to superiors, and then ultimately it goes to Bhagwan. When a demoniac personality, these days it is often seen, not just within devotee community but outside, everybody has a very rugged individualism in them. So it is difficult for anybody to take any piece of advice from anyone. The largest number of advice or feedback we get from our peers. The juniors, they generally glorify us. Prabhu, you are so nice. Mataji, you are so nice. You are our savior, you are our shelter. So, if so many juniors will say that, one day we'll start believing it also. But the peers, they don't care for us. They will say, you are a useless person. I don't know why you are here. You are simply wasting your time. The seniors will also not say so much because they will hesitate. And is this person ready? Is this person wise enough to take this advice? So they will follow some maryada. But the peers, they have no maryada with you. So therefore, a stable situation in spiritual life is to spend 60% of your time with your peers, 20% of the time with juniors, and 20% of the time with superiors. And when they give you some feedback, one should take it. A person in the mode of passion, when they get some feedback or when they get some correction, they try to defend themselves. A person in the mode of ignorance, when they receive some feedback or some correction, even if we are talking about room of improvement, even if there is some room of improvement, they will not take it. They will rather start criticizing the person, or they will start finding faults with the person who is giving the feedback or the correction. But mode of goodness means whatever correction or feedback has been offered by a peer or a superior, ideally juniors should not offer feedback to superiors. So one should take it, try to take it with a pinch of salt, meditate upon it for some time, and then come back with some further queries that, what I thought about it, I'm thinking like this, how to go further. So Hiranyakashipu is here a person in the mode of ignorance. After getting suggestions from his father, from his mother, and continuously ignoring it, feeling that his father is wrong, his mother is wrong, his peers are wrong, now he has started to think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also wrong. And he is telling that now he is in Maya. He has assumed the form of a boar just to please the demigods, just like a restless child leans towards someone. So therefore I will kill Lord Vishnu by severing his head from his trunk with my trident. He is thinking, just like his brother had a material body, similarly Lord Vishnu also has a material body. So Lord Vishnu, because he has become partial to the Devatas, so therefore he has lost his position of being the Supreme Personality. Basically the position of Supreme Personality is now vacant. I will kill him and I will become the Supreme Personality. So these are tinges of Mayavad. They feel that they can do this kind of stuff. And then what is the nature of such people? They are highly in the mode of ignorance. They like food also in the mode of ignorance. So therefore he is telling, I will cut his head from his trunk with my trident, And the blood which will come out, I will offer it to my brother Hiranyaksh. Why? Because he really liked to suck the blood. Now, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is very nicely explaining that who is Lord Vishnu? He cannot be partial to anyone. In the Bhagavad Gita also he says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am not partial to anybody. Many people fail to misunderstand. Even Maharaj Yudhishthir also once is asking that although I know Lord Vishnu is, Maharaj Parikshit is asking, I know that Lord Vishnu is impartial, but by his activities it appears that he is taking side of the Devatas. So how to understand this? So then, in order to explain this to Maharaj Parikshit, Shukadev Goswami, the sage who can enter everyone's heart, he starts quoting a discussion between Narada and Maharaj Yudhishthir, where Narada explains that this seeming partiality of the Supreme Lord is actually his Bhaktvatsal nature. Meaning to say, when Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti uprahitam ashnami prayatatmana. At that time he is giving an open invitation to both demons and demigods and everybody, all creatures of this creation, that no matter who you are, whether you are a demon or whether you are a demigod, if you kindly serve me with love and devotion, and I'll become your friend, I'll help you, I'll protect you. He doesn't say that this is valid only for Brahmanas or this is valid only for Devatas. He says it's valid for everybody. So in one way, Krishna is, if someone says that Krishna is partial to his devotees, the correct statement would be Krishna allows everyone to become his devotee. In fact, he allows everyone to come into the arena of his partiality by telling that you just offer a flower to me, a leaf to me. But then the demons will never do this. Here Srila Prabhupada says, the Lord accepts the offerings of the devotees because of their transcendental love. Because they are in love with the Supreme Lord. They do not eat anything without offering it first to the Lord. So what should we speak or what should we conclude? That if someone is eating something which is not offered to the Lord, he is in which category? He is in the demoniac category. The Lord does not hanker for a small flower or a leaf. He does not eat. It is not that he does not have enough to eat. Indeed, he is feeding all the living entities. Nonetheless, because he is very merciful and is a Bhakta Vatsal, very favorable to devotees, he certainly eats whatever they offer him with love and devotion. This quality should not be misjudged to be childish. Hiranyakashipu does not understand the Siddhanta of Bhakti. And the Bhaktvatsal nature of the Lord is understood as, what is the word which was used here? Balasya eva sthiratmanah. Balasya eva. Where is that word? Manaukasaha. Balasya, child, asthir atmana, who is always restless and changing. So he is telling that Krishna is asthir, his mind is asthir. And he is just like a child. So demons always misunderstand the glorious qualities of the Lord and his devotees. This is the lesson learned. And that is happening because of their own personal agenda of sense gratification or Mayavad, etc. So therefore, what is the destination of the demons? As for Rudhira or the blood of Lord Vishnu, since there is no possibility of severing Lord Vishnu's head from his body, there is no question of blood. Blood comes out from a material body. We have a material body, it has bone, stool, flesh, urine, pus inside it. So when somebody puts a knife, then blood will spurt out of the body. But is Krishna's body like that? Is it full of blood, stool, pus, urine and all those? It's a Satchidananda Sharira. For you, there is a difference between your soul and your body. But for Krishna, there is no difference between the soul and his body. It's fully spiritual. So therefore, this is a completely wrong understanding about the position of the Supreme Personality. And it is not that Hiranyakashipu is ignorant. I will show you one verse where Hiranyakashipu is giving a very nice Bhagavatam class to his family members, where he is speaking very particular and very perfect philosophy. But you know who is a demon? A person who knows the philosophy but does not practice it himself slowly becomes a demon. Therefore, simply if someone knows the philosophy, that does not mean that they are a great person. One has to test his devotion to the Lord to the degree to which they can practice what they have learned. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, practice of the philosophy is higher than the philosophy itself. So, Hiranyakashipu knows all philosophy, but he could not practice it. Why? Because he was mad behind sense gratification. But the garland that decorates Lord Vishnu's body is as red as blood. When demons achieve Sayuji Mukti and leave behind their sinful activities, they are blessed by Vishnu's garland, which is red like blood. After attaining Sayuji Mukti, the demons are sometimes promoted to Vaikuntha planets, where they receive the reward of the Lord's garland prasad. So this is the first lesson which we learn. Because of our mode of passion, because of our mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance means laziness. Very lazy to engage in devotional activities, very lazy to exhibit individual, spontaneous, voluntary nature to serve the Lord. Mode of passion means unrestrained activities. Unrestrained activities means doing those things which we have not been asked to do. For instance, if we request someone that, okay, Sunday feast is going on, we have to serve prasadam, we are in shortage of, let's say, little butter, you go and get some butter. But then the person, when he is going to get some butter, he has his own plan. Oh, along with butter, I want to buy this also, that also. So instead of quickly going and getting the butter, he goes deeper into the market of this material world to buy other things, other agendas, other than what he has been told to do. And then he finds, after wasting 1 hour time, 2 hours time, he does not get what he wants. And then while coming back, he realizes the butter shop is also over, and then he comes back. This is called unrestrained activities. Exactly doing what we are not being asked to do. Because we are of the opinion, due to rugged individualism, we feel what we think is right. So Hiranyakashipu had that mentality. He did not listen to his mother, he did not listen to his father, he did not listen to his peers. He did not listen to anybody. So therefore now he is thinking, I'll kill Lord Vishnu. So this is the first lesson to be learnt here. Let us curb our unrestrained activities. Let us curb our sense gratification. Sense gratification makes one mad. Even the best of the advice a person will not be able to accept until they reduce or give up their sense gratification. Sense gratification is a kind of madness. First lesson which we learned from this Prahlad Narasimha pastime. Second, now you see, it is not that Hiranyakashipu was an ignorant person, never came to the Sunday feast in Kanamangala center, never read the Bhagavad Gita, not like that. You see this line which he is saying. Bhutanam iha this is 7:2:21. Those who can open in their mobile, it's good. Bhutanam iha samvasaha prapayam iva suvrate daivena katra nitanam unnitanam swakarmabhihi. After Hiranyaksh has been killed, his mother is crying, the wife of his brother is crying, the children of his brother are crying, everybody is crying. At that time, being the elder person in the family, just see how Hiranyakashipu is talking. He is telling, my dear mother, in a restaurant or a place of drinking cold water, many travelers are brought together. And after drinking water, they continue to their respective destinations. Similarly, living entities joined together in a family and later as a result of their own actions, they are led apart to their destinations. What a sublime philosophy to speak on a death funeral. Just like if you are traveling, it's very hot, you may see a restaurant or a place where everybody can drink some water. So many people will come there. Earlier this used to be the case. At small distances, they would make some places which was very cool and water was kept there. So anybody could come and drink water. So sometimes when you land up in such a place, you will find two people from some other place, two people from some other place. They are all sitting together. And the discussion will happen, where are you going? Oh, I am going to this place. Where are you coming from? I am coming from this place. And then after 5 minutes of chit chat, just leave for your own destinations. So Hiranyakashipu is telling family is like that. Due to karma and due to some other samskaras from previous life, some people have come together as a family. And due to their own karma, they will again be separated. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada gives another example, that if there are some broken twigs of wood floating on a water, and with the waves of water, with the breeze, sometimes these twigs will come together. And with the next breeze or with the next wave, they will again get separated. So life and death is like that. So one should not lament. Dhiras tatra na muhyati. A wise person does not become bewildered by seeing death. And point to be noted, you see here the demon Hiranyakashipu is saying that as a result of their own actions. So now he is not applying it for Hiranyaksh, that he got killed because of his own actions, but he is pulling the blame on Lord Vishnu. Yeah. You see, Prabhupada says, although Hiranyakashipu was a demon, he had Vedic knowledge and understanding. Thus, advice given to his family members, his sister-in-law, mother and nephews was quite sound. The demons are considered highly elevated in knowledge, but because they do not use their good intelligence in the service of the Lord, they are called demons. So somebody can be a very great person, a great PhD, somebody a big Bahubali or a big beautiful person or a big rich person. But if they are not devotees, then they cannot have good intelligence. What is good intelligence? Good intelligence is that intelligence which is controlled by the Shastra. A person who has learned to do shasan on his mind using the Shastra is said to have a good intelligence. If this is not the case, the Shastra directs you to render devotional service to the Lord. And if one is not doing that, then ultimately, manorathe nasati dhavato bahihi. One is riding manorath, a mental chariot. I feel, according to me, in my opinion, they will talk that language. And then they will simply be unhappy in life. A person who does not render devotional service to the Lord as per the injunctions of the Shastras neither achieves perfection, happiness, or a higher destination either in this life or the next. So real meaning of PhD is perfection, happiness and higher destination. We should all become PhDs. We should attain perfection in our life. We should be happy. And we should attain a higher destination in next life. And that is only possible when we use our intelligence to serve the Lord. Otherwise, even if we are Hiranyakashipus, ultimately we will be doomed. We will be demons. The demigods, what is the difference between demons and demigods? Demigods, however, act very differently, very intelligently to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ata pumbhir dvijashreshta varnashram vibhagashah swanush thitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. O best amongst the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging his prescribed duties according to the caste divisions and orders of life is to please Lord Hari. To become a demigod or become godly, whatever one's occupation, one must satisfy Krishna. So the second lesson which we learn here is philosophy without practice can be quite intoxicating, can be in a very subtle way adding value to our own false ego. So therefore we should thoroughly practice it. Philosophy is only as much use as much as we practice it. In fact, if we do not practice it and if we only speak it to others, we only become clever mechanical reciters. And clever mechanical reciters, they cause a lot of havoc in the society. Why could Srila Prabhupada, why does the Bhagavatam say that Shukdev Goswami is a saint who can enter everyone's heart? Why Srila Prabhupada could enter everyone's heart? Because there was no difference between what they said and what they did. This is the meaning of a gentleman. There should be no difference between what you say and what you do. You should definitely know the philosophy. You should become a Vipra. Janmana jayate Shudra, samskarat bhaved vijah, ved pathat bhaved Vipra, brahma janat iti brahmana. So everybody is entitled to become a Vipra. Study the Vedic literature and become a Vipra, become knowledge. But that is not the end of our journey. We should become a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is one who has made this Brahma Jigyasa, or the desire to attain the Supreme Lord by pleasing Him, by rendering service which is anukul to Him. A Vaishnava is more successful or contributes more to the society than a Brahmana. A Brahmana may just speak, but a Vaishnava acts as per what he speaks also. So therefore the aim of our life is to become a Vaishnava, not like Hiranyakashipu. Trust me, when Hiranyakashipu would come here and speak, his elocution skills and his power of delivery and the voice modulation and the influence which he may have on you will probably thrill you. But at the end of the day, whatever Hiranyakashipu will say will not lead to a change of heart, because he himself is not practicing it. So therefore, let's not be parrots. Srila Prabhupada says a parrot can learn how to chant Hare Krishna. But if you take the parrot and if you twist the neck of the parrot, then what will the parrot say? Sorry? Srila Prabhupada actually makes the sound and says, "Ka, ka, ka," in the lecture. And everybody is laughing. And Prabhupada says, don't laugh, this is reality. If we just speak the philosophy and don't know what it means and don't know how to practice it, then we are just like those parrots who can recite the whole Bhagavad Gita in 45 minutes but cannot live the Bhagavad Gita for 45 minutes. This is the second lesson which we learn. Third lesson, how the demon continues to think. For some time, just like a cat when it is catching the mouse, just to have some fun, the cat will release the mouse for some time. The mouse thinks that by the power of my strength, I have got released from the clutches of the cat. And in this way, the mouse continues to do more mischief. So similarly, the demoniac people, sometimes the Lord gives them some liberty. He allows them to grow for some time. So when they start growing, their demoniac nature starts growing. And what is the limit of their demoniac nature is mentioned in verse 7, 3:11. Anyathedam vidhasyeham ayatha purvam ojasa kimanyaihi kala nirudhitaihi kalpante vaishnavadinihi. This is how a demon thinks. By the dint of my severe austerities, I shall reverse the results of pious and impious activities. Point to be noted, a demon is always a revolutionary. Most of the revolutionaries, they think like this only. Kuch to kar den, kuchu nit. Prabhupada says in Bengali, kichu nuton koru. Kuch to naya karenge. How am I better and more spiritually advanced than others? Something new I have to do. Kichu nuton koru. So now Hiranyakashipu is thinking, I will do so much tapasya. Generally the universal order is, if somebody is pious, following the dharma, they will have some little piety in their life, and things will be little simpler for them. And those who are impious, they will have little difficulty in life. So he's telling, I will reverse the results of pious and impious activities. I shall overturn the established practices within the world. Why? Why he is doing all this? Just because my brother has been killed. Just because my interests have been, somebody has messed up with my interests. If this happens to my neighbor, I don't care. But because my brother has been killed, because my interests have been destroyed, because my desire was not fulfilled, because my ego was not massaged, so therefore I'll do this. And then to what extent I'll go? It is not that the demon is not determined. So therefore every revolutionary and every determined person is not respectable. You see the determination. Even Dhruv Loka will be vanquished at the end of the millennium. Therefore what is the use of it? I shall prefer to remain in the position of Brahma. And in the next verse he says, even if I cannot attain in one life, lifetime after lifetime, I will continue my penances to achieve it. Sometimes a determined man can be a demon. Sometimes a revolutionary man can be a demon. Every revolutionary, every Marxist, every communist is not somebody very great. You see, Prabhupada says Hiranyakashipu's demoniac determination was explained to Lord Brahma by the demigods, who informed him that Hiranyakashipu wanted to overturn the established principles. Anybody who can do tapasya is not great. See, what we do in our life does not matter so much at the end of the day, but the intention with which we do it matters more. In fact, it is the intention only which at the end of the day which matters. Somebody is doing tapasya to please the Lord. Somebody is doing tapasya to kill the Lord. It is the law of nature that anybody who executes austerity will attract higher cosmic powers. Whatever tapasya you do. I am thinking of doing a small tapasya after today, not from today. I am thinking I will stop eating fried items. I am just thinking. Suppose if I execute this tapasya, I will get some benefit. Somebody starts sleeping on the floor on a mat every day. It's a tapasya. The beautiful result of this tapasya is that they will always wake up 3 hours before sunrise. And they will experience great happiness in the Brahma Muhurta. So tapasya is always rewarding. But what is the intention for which you are doing this tapasya? This is exactly what differentiates a karmi from a jnani, from a jnani from a yogi from a bhakta. The difference is only intention. Even if somebody has not been successful to control their mind and senses, but if their intention is good, that I am a struggling person right now, but my intention is to give pleasure to Krishna. My intention is to give pleasure to Guru. That intention will uplift him or her in course of time. But if the intention is that, oh, I want this siddhis, or I want these things just to get some fame, or just to pick a bone with someone, or just to have the fun, then that very wrong intention will kill him. After executing severe austerities, people within this material world are promoted to the heavenly planets. But Hiranyakashipu wanted them to be unhappy, suffering because of diplomatic feelings of the demigods, even in the heavenly planets. He wanted those who harassed in this world by material transactions to be unhappy for the same reason, even in the heavenly planets. Indeed, he wanted to introduce such harassment everywhere. One might ask how this would be possible, since the universal order has been established since time immemorial. But Hiranyakashipu was proud to declare that he would be able to do everything by the power of tapasya. He even wanted to make the Vaishnavas' position insecure. These are some of the symptoms of asuric determination. So a demon will be very determined. And sometimes the Lord will let them achieve what they want also. But that very intention which they had, that will lead to their demise. So therefore, Krishna is not karma grahi Janardhan, yoga grahi Janardhan, jnana grahi Janardhan, or service grahi Janardhan. Krishna is bhava grahi Janardhan. So what is the lesson learned for us? We are practicing devotees, we are sadhakas. The lesson here is we should make sure that our bhava is correct. Am I doing this seva to get appreciation in the society of devotees? Am I doing this seva for some benefit? I'll do this seva every Sunday. Then after some time, they will hand over the charge of the grocery to me. And then secretly 50 kgs rice I will take to my house. What is the purpose I am doing this? For some puja, for some labh, for some man, some pratishtha. My bhava should be pure. What is my bhava? This is the difference between a pure devotee and a sadhaka. A pure devotee always does everything for the pleasure of Krishna. A sadhaka is struggling to remember this. And sometimes he or she does things for his own sense gratification in the name of bhakti. So therefore Krishna is not, we cannot claim, मैंने इतना service किया प्रभु जी. But हमारा भाव क्या था? So this, please understand, nobody, whether a brahmachari or a sannyasi or a grihastha or a vanaprastha, nobody is above the rules and regulations of sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means purification of bhava. If the bhav is not pure, we will only create problems for us and for others. Even if we have so much determination in life, that will not help us. So therefore, we should see the intention behind what people are doing. If the intention is good, if the intention is samsiddhir haritoshanam, for the pleasure of Hari, we should support. But even if it is the best of the social welfare activities, but if the intention is not good, then we should always be away from such activities, because it is demoniac. Next, the devatas, they go and they try to pray to the Lord, Supreme Lord, Sri Hari, on the shore of the milk ocean. And they say to the Lord that we are getting so many problems, and this Hiranyakashipu has done this, achieved this, Lord Brahma has blessed him. We are not understanding what to do now. Please see what the Lord says. Nirvairaya prashantaya swasutaya mahatmane praharadaya yadadruhyet dhanishye pi varojitam. When Hiranyakashipu teases the great devotee Prahlad, why is he a great devotee? Because he is nirvairasya prashantasya swasutaya mahatmane. Swasutaya means his own son. Why? Why is he a great devotee? He is peaceful and sober, and who has no enemy. That means the Lord likes these kind of people. Anybody who is peaceful. What is the definition of peace? The first level of peace which everybody should aim for is freedom from material hankerings. Hankering for what I don't have and afraid to lose what I have. Which verse of Bhagavad Gita am I quoting? Can you please tell the shloka? You can use your phone or Gita, whatever. One of the biggest problems in our life is the hankerings for what we don't have and the fear to lose what we have. Shochati kankshati. You are worried that you will lose what you have, and kankshati, akanksha, you are hankering for what you don't have. Brahma bhuta prasannatma. Na shochati na kankshati. One who can give up these hankerings and fear, he will become prasannatma. Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. Then they will start seeing everybody at the platform of spirit soul. And then what will happen? Something very wonderful will happen. What will happen? Mad bhaktim. Then they will understand what is pure devotion and they will appreciate what is bhakti. So first step to become peaceful is to give up these hankerings. And these hankerings, these material desires, the only way they can be reduced is when you serve the devotees. When you see their pavan charitra, their beautiful character, when you see bhakti in action, that here is a person who has no material hankerings. Here is a person who has spiritualized their desires. Let me serve that person. But how do you get the intelligence to serve such a person? It's not easy to be with pure devotees. You have to be fire to penetrate fire. So the intelligence, dadami buddhi yogam tam. How will that happen? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So first step to become peaceful is to be satisfied in life. The second step to be peaceful is the first sloka of Nectar of Instruction. Vacho vegam manasah krodha vegam jihva vegam udarupastha vegam etan veganya vishaheta dhiraha sarvam apimam prithvim sashishya. The second step to become peaceful is become a dhira. Practice austerity of mind, austerity of speech, austerity of anger. Vacho vegam, manaso krodha vegam, jivva vegam, udarupastha vegam. Austerity of eating and austerity of the usage of genitals. These 6 urges, if someone can control, the urge to speak, the urge to eat, the urge of mind, the actions of anger, the urges of tongue, belly and genitals. If someone can control these 6 urges, then and only then can they be peaceful. This is the secret to happy life. Anybody who has not controlled the urge to speak, the actions of the mind, the urges of the anger, the urges of the tongue, which means to eat, desire to voraciously eat, go on eating, and the urges of the belly and the genitals. Anybody who has not controlled these 6 urges, they can never be peaceful. And I will quote some verses if time permits. Hiranyakashipu tried so much. When he saw that he cannot kill Prahlad, he tried to lure him with sense gratification. Now Hiranyakashipu was in charge of the heavenly planets. He could call all the beautiful apsaras also. He could offer him the best, unbelievable, unimaginable sense gratification. And the conclusion of Hiranyakashipu was that Prahlad was not affected. That is why Prahlad was peaceful, sober. And he had no enemy. A person who engages in sense gratification becomes envious of the Lord and others. And only a person who is engaged in sense gratification will have enemies. A person who is not engaged in, or the degree to which we reduce our sense gratification, to that degree we become Ajat Shatru. Maharaj Yudhishthir, whose name is coming in Bhagavatam, was Ajat Shatru. Even if somebody was his enemy, he wouldn't see him as an enemy. That means he would see everybody as the platform of spirit soul. So when the demigods go to please the Lord and entreat the Lord that please help us, what the Lord says, that when my pure devotee, when my great devotee Prahlad will be tormented by his father, that time I will give relief to you. What does the Lord mean when he says this to the demigods? Indirectly the Lord is hinting, you also become pure devotee like Prahlad. Until then, tolerate. It is not that the Lord does not value the devatas. He values them, he loves them. He has given them administration responsibilities. One of the main reasons why Prahlad was brought into this material world by the Supreme Lord was to set an example to the devatas. That is why in the chapter when Narsingadev comes, all the devatas are praying. And purposely the Lord did not get pacified by any of these prayers. Who could pacify the Lord? Only Prahlad. So Lord is giving a hint to the devatas that my pure devotees don't pray like this, the way you are praying. You please become like Prahlad. Or else wait until Prahlad comes. When Prahlad will be disturbed, that time I will descend. This is the lesson which we learn from here. Prabhupada is quoting from 3:25-21. Ajat Shatravah Shantah Sadhavah Sadhu Bhushana. A devotee has no enemies, he is peaceful, he abides by the scriptures. If you see a so-called devotee who is ignoring the regulations of the scriptures, he is a Sahajya. There are so many people here around us, not here in this hall, but in the society, who are not specific about the rules and regulations of the scriptures. It is mentioned that, for example, I'll say one rule. Whenever you go to the Dham, you should not directly go to the Govindas. Suppose you go to Mayapur or you go to Jagannath Puri, directly you should not devour prasadam. I have travelled, now give me prasadam. No. The injunction in the Shastras is that the day you go to the Dham, at least the male-bodied devotees, they should shave their head first. And one day they should observe fasting and they should give in charity. And then the next day onwards, they should engage in prasadam and other activities. However, in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, Maharaj Pratap Rudra is asking Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya that these devotees of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who are coming from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri, why are they not shaving their head? Why are they not fasting for one day? And Mahaprabhu, who is Jagat Guru, who is Krishna, he is ordering loads of prasadam. Not ordering, Mahaprabhu never ordered. He just desired, and someone brought loads of prasadam from Jagannath Puri temple and kept it for delivery. So Jagannath Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya is asking, what is this? They are not following the scriptures. So at that place, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya explains who is bound by the scriptures and who is above the scriptures. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya very beautifully explains that a person whose every thought is service, a person whose every thought is meant to please Guru and Krishna, they are beyond the rules and regulations of the Shastra. But a person whose every thought is not related to seva, they should bind themselves with the rules and regulations of the Shastra. Because the purpose of life is to please the Lord. Now, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be pleased when Advaita Acharya, when Nityananda Prabhu and others, when they will directly come and meet him. Suppose if they have come to Jagannath Puri and they are shaving their head and they are fasting for one day and they are next day, after taking the darshan of Jagannath, they are coming in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This means that they are not understanding who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So only Prema Bhaktas can choose to not follow the Shastra, but that also they do by the Lord from within their heart dictates them to do that. That is when they do it. They don't do anything on their own. But those who are not at the level of Prema, they should strictly follow the Shastra. So if at all you find a devotee somewhere here or there or Mayapur or Vrindavan who is not following the scriptures, they cannot be considered as a sadhu. If there is a good guru or a bad guru, a sadguru or a sadguru who says, I have never read the Bhagavad Gita, the best thing which I did was I remain uneducated. If you read scriptures, it will make your mind narrow. To open your mind like a parachute, don't read the Bhagavad Gita, but read all the books which I am writing. They are not gurus. A Vaishnava or a guru follows the Shastra. Because a guru expects his disciples to be subservient or obedient to him. And nobody can become a guru without being obedient to the previous authorities. A rebel who has woken up from his bed one day night and then decided that I am a guru today, they cannot be called as Vaishnavas. So Sadhava, Sadhu Bhushana, their characteristics are sublime. Next lesson. This is my favorite part. These are the qualities of Prahlad. I have made a Word document also for my personal study. What are the qualities of Prahlad? I will tell the quality and you have to tell me how he exhibited that quality. Yeah. The first quality, this is verse number 7, 4, 31 to 32. Some qualities of Prahlad. First quality is Brahmanya. Prahlad was very respectful to the Brahmanas and Vedic scriptures. Brahmanya. In fact, this should be the quality of all the devotees of the Lord. Without being Brahmanya, one cannot please the Lord. When Prahlad was told by the best Brahmana, Brahmadev, Lord Brahma, we have all seen that movie, Mahavatar Narsimha, when Narsimhadev has become so angry and is destroying so many palaces and so many courts of Hiranyakashipu. And for the perspective of glorifying Prahlad, even Mother Lakshmi has denied to go and pacify Narsimhadev. In such a frightful situation where everybody is afraid, what does Lord Brahma go and tell Prahlad? Go and pacify Narsimha. At least I wouldn't have gone, honestly speaking. How many of you have faced a lion in your life? One of my friends from Nigeria, he had told me something which I want to share. Maybe I've shared earlier. So in order to, he belonged to a particular tribe from Nigeria, and in order to get married, they had to go to the forest and hunt a lion. Then only they will get married. So he said that, it was not necessary to kill a lion. Even if we have faced and taken a selfie or a photo, that is enough to get married. So he had taken some of his friends, ki pura camera ready rakhna. So he was walking. And then he said that they found in the jungles, one lion was sitting very far. So he said that as soon as he approached the lion, he realized that this lion which he is going to fight is minimum 200 to 250 kgs. Imagine if a powerful entity which is 250 kgs in weight runs at the end of chutney will you become if that happens. So my friend, he realized this will happen to him as soon as he started walking. And then what he said was that when the lion saw him, the lion just put his hand on the floor, thumped his hand on the forest, and a lot of dust rose, and the lion just roared a little bit. And then he said that was the end of my journey. After that I retreated. So by hearing that, I realized what it means to face a lion. Now we are talking about facing the lion of the lions, the lion amongst the lions, Narsimhadev. A person like Hiranyakashipu, who has captured the whole universe, has been torn apart by him in a few moments. We are talking about Narsimhadev. We are talking about a person from whom Mother Lakshmi is also, for the perspective of the Leela, is feeling afraid. Brahma is feeling afraid. All the demigods are feeling afraid. Even Lord Shiva is not approaching him. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu is not approaching. He is there. In chapter number 8 of the 7th canto, the first prayer is offered by Lord Shiva, then by Brahma. So that means he is also there. In such a situation where he is seated on the throne of Hiranyakashipu, and some 2-3 crore demons and corpses and dead bodies are lying around, and he is roaring with his multiple hands. And in that situation, our Prahlad was told by Brahma, Jao, go and appease. But you see the beautiful sublime character of Prahlad. Whether it is a situation good or bad, fearful or fearless, or whatever the situation, he is always obedient to the Brahmanas. Whether it is Chandamarka, who teach him something and ask to repeat, he repeats. Or whether it is the Lord Brahma who is asking him to go and appease, he goes. So he is respectful always to Brahmanas and the Vedic scriptures. So he is Brahmanya. Next quality of Prahlad is Sheela Sampanna, endowed with exemplary character and conduct. Sheela Sampanna. In Hindi there is a word called Sushil. Sheela Sampanna. I had a very naughty friend whose name was Sushil. So any teacher who used to come in my class, Sushil, please go out. I had another friend whose name was Harish Chandra, and I will not say what he used to do. So, Sheela Sampanna, endowed with exemplary character and conduct. Just look at what Hiranyakashipu was doing to him. My dear friends, my dear sadhakas, my dear sages of Kali Yuga who are sitting here, if your family members behave the way Hiranyakashipu behaved with Prahlad, what would you do? You would walk out of the house. You would sever all connections. But you see the way Prahlad behaved with his father. Prahlad's father forced his mother to give him poison. It was a serious misunderstanding. But he was always Sheela Sampanna, exemplary character and conduct. He never disrespected his father. However, he respectfully disobeyed his father. That is okay. But he never disrespected his father. So that is his great quality, Sheela Sampanna. Satya Sandha, firmly fixed in truthfulness. When Hiranyakashipu is standing in front of you, you cannot imagine what it means. And when he is asking, tell me what is the best thing which you have learned in your schools, he is speaking the truth. Okay, first time he spoke the truth. And then he was punished so much, he was tried to be killed and then again sent back to Gurukul and so much harassment. At least next time he should not have spoken, no. Enough for preaching, I tried. My father will kill me if I preach anymore. But he was Satya Sandha, firmly fixed. Next time when again Hiranyakashipu asked, he again spoke the truth. Those who are Satya Sandha, those who are Sheela Sampanna, those who are Brahmanya, the Lord protects them. So therefore one should not compromise these qualities. Once I was there standing in front of a Lord Shiva temple. Not in front, outside a Lord Shiva temple. And I was praying by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. After my prayers, I put my hands up and I started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. One, I think he was not appreciating what I was doing and he came and shouted at me. Why are you chanting Hare Krishna? Don't you have any sense? You are in front of Lord Shiva. I was not doing any public Sankirtan. I was just privately praying. But he had a problem. That why can't you say Om Namah Shivaya here? And then 2-3 other people, they came. And I was in Tamil Nadu. And Tamil Nadu people have a different kind of mustache. It comes here and here it becomes round. And all those like, you're not chanting Om Namah Shivaya, you're just chanting Hare Krishna. Honestly, I became afraid at that time. I should have remained firmly fixed in truthfulness and continued chanting with the faith that the Lord will protect me. But I could not do that. I said sorry and went away from it. I was a darpok, and I am always remembering that incident and praying in my heart that my Lord, next time when such a situation comes, give me the strength to become Satya Sandha. So therefore I understood that day how great Prahlad Maharaj was. The next quality of Prahlad Maharaj, Jitendriyaha, master of his senses. What all Hiranyakashipu did. Especially in terms of luring a small 5-year-old child. But Prahlad was in one way iron-headed towards sense gratification. Why? Because he was always engaging his senses in the service of Krishna. He had this experience of the happiness which one gets by serving Krishna. I should ask myself as a devotee, what gives me happiness in my life? Oh, when I do some seva and when everybody claps for me, I get happiness. Oh, when I have some very nice prasadam, I will get some happiness. Oh, when I get the information that today's Mangalarti is cancelled and I can sleep for another 1 hour in the bed, I get some happiness. As a sadhaka, I should realize that the happiness which one gets by pleasing Krishna and pleasing the pure devotees of Krishna is billions of times greater than what this stupid sense gratification will give me. And that will make one a Jitendriya. Our Lord is Jitendriya. Krishna is Jitendriya. And the worshippers of Krishna should also be Jitendriya. Because only a Jitendriya can serve a Jitendriya. So therefore, it is very important. Therefore, in the Nectar of Instruction, first verse, purport, Srila Prabhupada says that the first business in spiritual life is to control the mind and senses. It is not possible for anyone who is not a Jitendriya to go back home, back to Godhead. Now the question is how to become a Jitendriya. The best solution to become a Jitendriya is cry in front of Krishna. Whatever struggles you have, sincerely you continue the process of chanting Hare Krishna, have faith in the process. Sincerely chant Hare Krishna with attention. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj used to say, ध्यान पूर्वक जप करने का मतलब है 16 माला करते समय और कुछ नहीं करना. Attentive chanting means when you are chanting your 16 rounds, you will not do anything else. It's a very simple definition, but difficult to practice. Today morning, I was on the terrace of one of the bases called Godrum base with some youths chanting Hare Krishna. We started at 5:15. It was dark. I could see the moon also at that time. Some cuckoos were speaking. Some parrots were flying. Once in a while, a crow would come and put his head in a dustbin and go somewhere. And at that time, I was chanting. And I was praying to Krishna that give me the determination to remain fixed up in today's japa. But I could see how the modes of material nature are working. Everybody was sitting and chanting peacefully, but as the sun started rising, I saw most of the devotees on the terrace, either they started flexing their body, or they started getting up, or they started walking, or they started talking, or they started responding to the nature's call. I saw that everybody's japa became disturbed as soon as the sun rises. And then after that, they started seeing their phone, and they started talking. And in that way, their japa became distracted. I was appreciating the value of this statement that ध्यान पूर्वक जप करना मतलब 16 माला करते समय और कुछ नहीं करना. The worst thing to do while chanting is to talk. It's a crime actually for sadhakas. If due to indigestion, your stomach is not getting cleared properly in the morning, as a result of which you are a sleepy cow while during the japa, it is recommended that you stand and chant. If standing and chanting is not helping, then you walk, take small steps. Don't see the beautiful parrot or the beautiful whatever. Look down, take small steps, focus on japa. Don't start talking. Don't think by checking the latest, what is called Instagram or something, your japa will improve. No. The struggle in Krishna consciousness is our wealth. So please struggle. So one of the easiest ways to walk on this path of becoming a Jitendriya is to chant attentively. Miracles happen. Srila Prabhupada has told on record that even for 1 month, if somebody strictly follows the 4 regulative principles and chants attentively, they will experience liberation kind of experience. Just 1 month. And if you do this consistently for 12 years, then you become a Jitendriya. Human life is meant for becoming a Jitendriya and not for becoming a Jitendar, but a Jitendriya. I again and again repeat this. Without becoming a Jitendriya, one cannot go back to God. So Prabhuji, I am chanting attentively as much as possible. I am trying to follow the 4 related principles as much as possible. But still, due to past samskaras, I have my struggles. Then what to do? Cry in front of Krishna. Cry and cry and cry and cry until he decides to help you. Until how long you have to go on crying? Until Krishna listens to you. And trust me, this crying really helps. In fact, the crying is the only thing which will help. When you realize that your sadhana bhakti is the best you can give, but your best is not good enough, you become more humble and you understand the meaning of Sharanagati. And then in that mood, actually you can take shelter of Krishna. And Krishna wants that. He wants you to experience that. He relishes that. One of my peers was telling me, Achyutan Sikha Das, we have never seen you crying while chanting. You only make others cry while chanting. It's a very deep statement he made. If we don't feel any sentiments for Krishna, rather if we feel sentiments for our false ego and for our worldly prestige and for the possessions which we have and our family members, able to cry for Krishna. If you are not able to cry that you are not able to cry for Krishna, then you should cry that you are not able to cry that you are not able to cry for Krishna. If you are not able to cry that you are not able to cry that you are not able to cry for Krishna, then you should cry that you are not able to cry that you are not able to cry that you are not able to cry for Krishna. Basically, he is also saying go on crying. But do not replace your sadhana bhakti with this crying. I will not chant but I will only cry. No, that is not possible. You have to do sadhana bhakti and then you have to cry. Cry to get rid of these anarthas. Then Jitendriya life is possible. And then like you see, there are so many qualities, I don't think I can cover all. Next quality which I will choose here is Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam. This quality is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita also. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nashochati Nakangshati Samaha Sarveshu Bhuteshu. He sees every living entity on the spiritual platform. Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam means one who is seeing everybody at the platform of Atma. Sees all living beings as equal to himself. When Prahlad Maharaj was preaching to the demons, demon children in his school, he did not think that they are lower than me. He preached to everybody. He gave a fair chance to everybody. Later on you will see that Prahlad Maharaj, after Narsimhadev chapter, I think in the chapter number 11, he meets Dattatreya, or the name Dattatreya is not mentioned, but Acharyas say. Prahlad Maharaj could have ignored him. He was lying on the ground, rolled in his own stool and urine. And Prahlad Maharaj, the king of the whole world, just now taken darshan of Narsimhadev. Narsimhadev is his private tuition teacher. He is teaching him everything what he wants. Why should he care for some avadhuta? But Prahlad was Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, Bhutanam. He used to be equal to every living entity. He even prayed for his father who had chastised him, tormented him. So this is the good character of Srila Prahlad Maharaj. Next, Ekapriya Suhrittamam, the one true well-wishing friend of all. Such beautiful prayers of Prahlad Maharaj where he is praying, may all the envious living entities in this world be pacified. We all have some envy in our heart and we all know some people who are envious of us. And we tend to avoid the envious people. We tend to keep them away. We tend to tell that they are envious, leave them. Does our heart really like to pray for envious people? Prahlad's heart was praying. He was praying for that let all the envious people in this world be pacified. Dasavat Sannata, what is it? Sannata Yangrihi, humble like a servant before the great souls. Whenever he would meet any great soul, Prahlad would serve them like a humble servant. He was not never puffed up. So these are some great qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Pitravat Dina Vatsalah, compassionate like a father to poor and helpless. Who is a poor person? Option A, one who has no money. Option B, one whose all relatives are dead. Option C, one who is not lucky enough to get a tasty meal at least once a day. Or option D, one who has no spiritual credit. Who is a poor person? So real poor are those people who are not in spiritual consciousness. And they are helpless because they are tormented by the urges of sense gratification. Look at the drug addict people. They are helpless. Who can help them? Even they cannot help themselves. So such people who are tormented by the urges of sense gratification and whose hearts are spiritually starving, one needs to be compassionate like a father to them. Hiranyakashipu was one such person. His friends in the school were one such category of people. And later on we see he becomes a preacher to the entire society. So one needs to be like that. Guru Ishwara, Bhratravat Sadrishe Snigdhaha, affectionate like a brother to the equals. Gurushu Ishwara Bhavanaha, sees spiritual teachers as the representatives of the Supreme Lord. Vidyartha Rupa Janmadhyaha, enriched with knowledge and good birth. How Prahlad was a good birth? In fact, in the prayers to Lord Narasimhadev, he is telling that I am a demon born, low born demon. How can you say that he was of good birth? Son of Hiranyakashipu, how can he be of good birth? Since the age of 5 he was a devotee, but we are talking about good birth, not good life. By the way, very nice point you brought out. A person should seriously practice Krishna consciousness from which age? From the age of 5. But how is he a good birth? Birth. Good birth. Being born to demon also, he is having all good qualities of a devotee. How? Very good. Now you are coming to the point. When he was in the womb of his mother, he got so much association from Narad Muni. The Narsingha Purana tells that the conception of Prahlad also was not an ordinary conception. Hiranyakashipu, while uniting with his wife, chanted the name Krishna. Because he chanted the name of Krishna while uniting with his wife, and then his wife was taken when kidnapped by Indra, and then when Indra was told that here is a great devotee in the womb of Kayadu, so Indra released, and then Narad Muni took here to his ashram. And so there, for a very long time, he heard Krishna Katha from Narad Muni, the most powerful preacher. And all this happened before his birth. So therefore his birth was good. So therefore I want to stress upon the importance of Garbhadan Samskaras. We all want great devotees like Prahlad to take birth in ISKCON. That is not possible if the devotees of ISKCON or if the parents of ISKCON do not follow these Garbhadan Samskaras, or if they keep uniting out of passion and lusty desires. One has to perform Garbhadan Samskaras. One has to practice Brahmacharya. One has to be a servant of the spiritual masters, the sadhus, and then follow the 10 samskaras which are related to birth and beget a decent child. That is very much necessary. And the most important thing while begetting a child is Shravanam. The consciousness of the father should be purified, the consciousness of the mother should be purified, and when the child is in the womb, especially since the 7th month, when the consciousness wakes up, at that time so much Shravanam should happen. People should read Krishna book, people should hear Bhagavatam. All these things are necessary. So therefore, for that reason, Prahlad had a good birth. And last one is Manastambha Vivarjitaha, completely free from pride and arrogance. Manastambha Vivarjita. Whether he gets man or whether he gets apman, he does not bother. So these are some of the great qualities which make one dear to Lord Krishna. I have time till 12:30, so I'll continue. If any of you have questions, you can ask. Another lesson which we learn. You have a question? Yes.
How she got this much of fortune to get from any pastime of her?
I don't know. Why she became so, my only guess is because she was carrying Prahlad, that's why she became fortunate. My only guess is that. We have to search the scriptures. Many times we get the mercy not because we have done something, but because mercy is causeless. The Lord has a plan, He wants to bring Prahlad, and He wants to bring it as a son of Hiranyakashipu. So, Kayadu gets the benefit. Okay, another lesson. This is about preaching. Samyak vidyar hatam balo guru gehe dvijati bhihi Vishnu pakshehi pratichhannair na bhidhe tasya dhiryatha. Hiranyakashipu advised his assistants, my dear demons, give complete protection to this boy, that is Prahlad, at the Gurukul where he is instructed, so that his intelligence will not be further influenced by the Vaishnavas who may go there in disguise. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, in our Krishna consciousness movement, the tactic of dressing oneself like an ordinary karmi is necessary because everyone in demoniac kingdom is against Vaishnava teachings. Krishna consciousness is not at all to the liking of the demons of the present age. As soon as they see a Vaishnava dressed in saffron garments with beads on the neck and tilak on the forehead, they immediately become irritated. They criticize the Vaishnavas by sarcastically saying, Hare Krishna. And some people also chant Hare Krishna sincerely. In either case, since Hare Krishna is absolute, whether one chants it jokingly or sincerely, it will have effect. So how to make people chant Hare Krishna jokingly or sincerely? How to do that? What is the first step to do that? Huh? No, not necessarily saffron. You are welcome to wear it, provided you are qualified. Wear Vaishnava attire, at least. Wear, dressed like a devotee, put a tilak, put a kanthimala, and fearlessly walk out. Simply by walking up and down the road, you are doing preaching. They will be saying, hey, look at this Hare Krishna nonsense. Or at the door of your house, print the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and stick it. While passing, people will be saying Hare Krishna nonsense. So simply by wearing a dress, either you are and the sincere people, when they will see you, they will say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Somehow or the other make them chant. So the first step to preach is to dress. Srila Prabhupada used to say, first dress, then address. Okay. Second, what is the next step? The Vaishnavas are pleased when the demons chant Hare Krishna because this shows that the Hare Krishna movement is taking ground. The greater demons like Hiranyakashipu are always prepared to chastise the Vaishnavas, and they try to make arrangements so that Vaishnavas will not come to sell their books and preach Hare Krishna consciousness. Thus, what was done by Hiranyakashipu long ago is still being done. That is the way of materialistic life. Demons or materialists do not at all like the advancement of Krishna consciousness, and they try to hinder it in many ways. It's very careful on part of Prabhupada to compare the demons and the materialists. Anybody who has made materialistic happy life as the goal of his life is a demon, basically what Prabhupada is saying. Now, what is the advice? Yet the preachers of Krishna consciousness must go forward in Vaishnava dress or any other dress. If you are not allowed to go to a particular place and preach in Vaishnava dress, then put a shirt pant and go, no problem. But first give preference to Vaishnava dress. Don't make this as the formula of your life. Prabhupada has told, so I will always be in shirt and pant now. Maybe jeans. So, in their Vaishnava dress or any other dress for the purpose of preaching, Chanakya Pandit says that if an honest person deals with a great cheater, it is necessary for him to become a cheater also. Not for the purpose of cheating, point to be noted, but to make his preaching successful. So think of a place where they do not allow dhoti kurta, or they do not allow Vaishnava attire. And if you want to infiltrate that place with Bhagavad Gita, then what you should do? You should go as an undercover person there and try to spread the influence and then put some copies of Bhagavad Gita here and there and come back. Preaching. Okay, one more verse I will take. Let me choose a nice one. I will choose one thing from Narsingadev also. Narsingadev's pastimes also should be covered. I think it's towards the end. Yeah. So after Narsingadev comes out and kills Hiranyakashipu, Shukdev Goswami makes a very nice statement. We all can memorize this verse also. Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshva akhileshu chatmanah adrishyatad bhutarupa udbhavan stambhe sabhayam namrigam namanusham. Please listen to this word. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial. In other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari exhibited a wonderful form never seen before. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus, the lion appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. So there are two kinds of devotees of the Lord, rather three kinds, categories. One is the Kanishta Adhikari, one is the Madhyam Adhikari, and one is the Uttam Adhikari. A Kanishta Adhikari or a neophyte or a beginner of Krishna consciousness feels that the Lord is there only in the altar. So therefore, they behave whatever way they want, but when they come in front of the altar, they are like, all activities will start. Sometimes they exhibit prema bhakti. They come in front of the altar and they do flying kisses to the Lord. Prema bhaktas do flying kiss, but they do it only for the Lord. Only Lord deserves our love, no one else. So, neophytes, they will behave sincerely in front of the altar or in front of the deity, and their behavior with other devotees will be not smooth. A higher platform of Krishna consciousness is the Madhyam Adhikari, where one is becoming subservient to Krishna and the devotees of Krishna. And one is trying to preach. Without preaching, one cannot come to the level of Madhyam Adhikari. ईश्वरे तदधीनेषु बालिशेषु द्विषत्सु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपा उपेक्षा य करोति समध्यमा. So one becomes subservient to the Lord and his devotees. One tries to preach. One tries to avoid the envious people. And one tries to see Krishna through the Shastra. A Madhyam Adhikari has developed Shastra Chakshu. They do not see everything with their Charma Chakshu, biological eyes. They see everything from the scriptural eyes. For example, a Madhyam Adhikari, when he will drink water, then he'll remember the verse of Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, what is that verse? Rasoham apsu kauntaya. I am the taste of water. So he will think of Krishna while drinking water. He will think of Krishna while sleeping. He will think of Krishna while eating. He will connect various verses. He will see Krishna's energy in action. He will see Krishna's devotee in action. He will see Krishna in action. But an Uttam Adhikari is on the even higher platform. Sthavar Jangam dekhi na dekhi tar murti sarvatra haya nija ishtadeva spurti. A Uttam Adhikari of the Lord has developed so much love for the Lord that he is actually seeing Swayam Bhagwan Shri Krishna personally in action everywhere. He is not thinking that this water, the taste of water is the energy of Krishna. No, he is seeing Krishna. So, Prahlad Maharaj was actually seeing Krishna. He saw Krishna in the pillar. Because Prahlad Maharaj is Satya Sandha, he cannot lie. So he saw Krishna in the pillar, and so therefore when his father asked him, is your God here? He said yes. Now you see the Bhaktvatsal nature of the Lord. He could have come from anywhere. In the Narsimha Puran you will read that in the previous Kalpa or the previous day of Brahma, Narsimdev came in to kill Hiranyakashipu from the sky. He was flying in the sky and coming to kill. So Narsimdev can enter in any way. And there were so many pillars in that hall. But Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitum. To prove the words of Prahlad, his servant, come true, he came from that pillar only. This is the mood of the Lord. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita also the Lord says, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranashyati. My dear son of Kunti, Arjuna, declare very boldly that my devotees will never perish. Krishna honors the word of his devotees more than himself. This is the nature of our Lord. He wants his devotees to be more glorified. That is why in the process of going back home, back to Godhead, the most important thing is blessings. If a sincere devotee blesses you, if a pure devotee blesses you, finished. Then you just have to wait to quit your body. If a pure devotee blesses you, Krishna matirastu. May your mind become fixed on the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Then you just have to sincerely go on executing your sadhana bhakti and have faith in the power of blessings. Because Lord is Bhaktvatsala. Satyam Vidhatum. To prove the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial. In other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. That form was neither of a man nor that of a lion. Namrigam namanusham. The Lord appeared in his wonderful form in that assembly hall. Such a wonderful lesson which we'll learn here is the power of blessings in our life. Now, what does it mean to get blessings? Today I will do some seva and get some blessings, and after that I will become a rascal. No. I cannot act like that. Blessings, they have their own course to act. Once one disciple ran towards Srila Prabhupada and prayed to him that Srila Prabhupada, please bless me. Srila Prabhupada said, my blessings are always there with you. Blessings are already there. Now you have to receive it. How to receive the blessings? Next subject matter of discussion. Any pure devotee can bless me, any sincere devotee can bless me. But how can I make that blessing act upon me? It's very simple. If I have a vessel in which I am trying to fill some water, but there are 5 holes in that vessel. Question: if the speed of the water is 10 meters per second, for how much time should I switch on the tap so that the vessel, which is of 5 liters, will get filled? Given the fact that every hole is 1 centimeter in diameter and there are totally 5 holes. In each and every, there are 4 holes in each quadrant of the circle of the diameter of the base. I have given you a proper equation to solve. What is the answer? When will the vessel get filled? Huh? Sorry? Never. What is this hole representing? This hole represents sense gratification. Until we stop sense gratification, unlimited amount of blessings will also not act upon us. Just like if there is a wire which is coming from somewhere and there is a short circuit, whether you pass 44,000 volts or whether you connect it to the powerhouse, until you fix the short circuit, a simple fan will not work. So similarly, you may be blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead also, and you may be blessed by the pure devotee of the Lord also. But until we become sincere sadhakas, the blessings will cease to act. They will never act. What is the biggest sense gratification in this world? This is a Bhagavatam class. I cannot end this class without discussing the biggest sense gratification. Come on, tell me. Everybody knows this. Yes. Where is my favorite verse? Yanmaithunadigrahamedhi sukham hituchham kanduyane nakarayoriva dukkha dukkham tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukkha bhajah kanduti van manasijam vishahet dhiraha. Prahlad Maharaj, the 5-year-old boy, as he is standing in front of Narsingadev after his father has been killed by him, he is praying, he is offering this prayer. He is telling sex life is compared to rubbing of the 2 hands to relieve an itch. So if your hand is itching, how much will you scratch? No matter how much you scratch, the itching will not go away. So sex life is compared to rubbing of the 2 hands to relieve an itch. Grihamedhis, so-called grihasthas who have no spiritual knowledge, think that this itching is the greatest platform of happiness. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj is speaking this in Satyuga, when people used to engage in sex life after marriage. Now today's condition is even worse. Most of the sex life happens outside marriage or before marriage or aside from marriage. See, the child also is amused to hear this. So, Prahlad Maharaj, the 5-year-old boy, the Satyasandha, the Brahmanya, the Shila Sampanna, devotee of the Lord, is speaking the absolute truth. That sex life is compared to rubbing of the 2 hands to relieve an itch. Grihamedhis, the so-called grihasthas who have no spiritual knowledge, think that this itching is the greatest platform of happiness, although actually it is a source of distress. Dukkha dukkham. All it leads to is distress. You know, I like this word which doesn't come in the translation, but is there in the word-to-word meaning. This word manasijam. You see the translation of the word manasijam, which is simply a mental concoction. Actually, there is no happiness. So this sex life, actually there is no happiness. It is just imagined manasijam. It is created at the level of mind. It is never experienced at the level of the mind because it always keeps you hankering for more. And it makes you addicted to it also. It's an intoxication. Manasijam. There is actually no happiness. And Prahlad Maharaj is confirming this, that the Kripanas, the fools who are just opposite of the Brahmanas. Why opposite of the Brahmanas? Because Brahmanas are sense controlled. The Kripadas, the fools who are just opposite of the Brahmanas, are not satisfied by repeated sensuous enjoyment. Those who are dhira, however, who are sober, who tolerate this itching, are not subjected to the sufferings of the fools and rascals. So one has to learn to tolerate it like Maharaj Yudhishthir. One has to learn to tolerate it like Aruni. One has to learn to tolerate it like a brahmachari. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Unlimited amount of blessings from Prabhupada and Krishna will go in vain until we become Jitendriya. This point has to be very clearly understood. There is no second version of this. So if we want that one day the Lord should, suppose if we sincerely bless someone, or if somebody sincerely blesses us, Krishne Mati Rastu, and if we want that blessing to act upon us, we have to close the 5 holes first. Otherwise, the blessings will simply be drained out. That's why Srila Prabhupada told that disciple, my blessings are always there. Can you receive them? So this is the lesson which we learn from this verse. Satyam vidhatum nijbhritya bhashitum. Prahlad Maharaj was capable to receive those blessings. And one more very beautiful prayer Prahlad Maharaj is making. I just want to share it with you and then close this discussion. Yadi dasyasi me kaman. If somebody asks us what should be the result of your devotional service, this is 7:10:7. Yadi dasyasi me kaman varam stvam varadarashabha kamanam hridya asammaroham bhavatastu vrinayavaram. O my Lord, the best of the givers of benediction, Varadarashabha. The Lord is called as Varadarashabha. The best person who can give benedictions is the Lord only, and not any politician. O my Lord, the best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. This is what we should also pray to Krishna. My dear Lord Krishna, I am being tormented and I am falling into the ocean of birth again and again, and I am struggling just because I have so many material desires. My love for you is divided between you and the world. I want to love you. I want to love your devotees. I want to love your name. I want to love your pastimes. I want to love your incarnations. I want to love your paraphernalia. I want to love your dham. I don't want to love this toilet, which is called as the material world. But what to do? My intelligence is contaminated due to my previous samskaras and due to the bad association which I have. And so many material desires keep coming. My dear Lord, please don't fulfill my material desires. And please rip apart all the material desires from the core of my heart if I have ever pleased you. Or if I have ever pleased any of your devotees, let there be no material desire in the core of my heart, my Lord. Because I really want to be happy, my Lord. And I know that I will actually be happy only when I will only worry about pleasing you. Material desire means I am thinking about pleasing myself. And I have done this for billions of lifetimes, and all I have got is an ocean of tears. Now I want to be happy. Please help me to become happy. In this way we should pray to the Lord. And after hearing this, Lord Narasimhadev said, My dear Prahlad, O most pure, O great saintly person, your father has been purified along with 21 forefathers in your family. Because you were born in this family, the entire dynasty has been purified. Best way to take care of your forefathers, your father, your grandfather. You know the names of only 3 generations. Your father, grandfather, great-grandfather. Anyone knows the name of great-great-grandfather here? but we have so many great grandfathers. The best service which we can do to our father, our grandfather, our mother, our grandmother, both on father's side, mother's side, and 21 generations, is to become a pure devotee of the Lord. The word putra or putri means one who can deliver the ancestors from a hell called Put. Tra means to deliver. Trayate. Mahato bhaya. Tra. One who can deliver from a very hellish existence his ancestors or her ancestors is called Putra or a Putri. So the best way to fulfill you have been made a Putra, you have made a Putri. The best way to fulfill the purpose of your existence is to become a pure devotee of the Lord. Then everything else will be taken care of. Simply if you become a pure devotee in this life, this will be your last life, and your 21 generations wherever they are, whether it is Pitri Lok or some Nark Lok or some other planet doing some sense gratification or whatever, they will all be delivered, means they will all be given a fair chance to practice sadhana bhakti because you did pure devotional service. And the proof is seen here. Prahlad Maharaj's son Virochan and Virochan's son's Bali Maharaj. He was given a very fair chance to practice bhakti by Vaman Dev. So much so that Vaman Dev has become his doorkeeper in the Sutala Loka and has promised him that he will become the next Indra. Now so many problems Bali Maharaj will face when he will become next Indra, because Indratva has its problems. Imagine so much purification he will go through, and definitely he will become a pure devotee. So the Lord has a plan for you and your 21 generations if you plan to become a pure devotee. So these are the so many lessons which we can derive from Prahlad, Narsingdev and Shriman Hiranyakashipu's pastimes. With that, I would like to conclude today's discussion. Thank you very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakti Vrind ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. One of my main intentions in today's class to show you so many verses was to inspire you that you see how much nectar is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. How many